Everyone remembers Sleeping Beauty, right? The graceful princess, the evil fairy, the spinning wheel, and that one magical kiss that wakes her from a 100-year nap. It's one of Disney's most elegant, classic stories, a beautiful dream about true love conquering all. But what if that dream was actually a nightmare? What if the fairy tale we all grew up with was just a pretty mask hiding a much darker, more disturbing truth? Back in 1959, when Disney released Sleeping Beauty, it was a triumph of animation, a story meant to fill us with hope. But if you listen closely, deep within the frames, you can almost hear the echoes of an ancient legend, a version of the story that's far older and way more terrifying than the one we know. The princess's story didn't start in a Disney castle. It began in a nightmare. The original tale, written centuries before Disney ever put pen to paper, wasn't even called Sleeping Beauty. It was titled Sun, Moon, and Talia penned by an Italian author named Giambattista Bozzo way back in the 1600s. And trust me, it is nothing like the fairy tale we got. In that story, the princess didn't just fall into a peaceful, enchanted sleep. She pricked her finger, sure, but what followed wasn't a romantic slumber. It was a deep, unnatural coma that trapped her soul somewhere between life and death. And the prince who found her, he wasn't her hero. He was her doom. He didn't wake her with a gentle kiss. He took advantage of her helpless state, and when she finally awoke, months later, she discovered she had given birth to twins named Sun and Moon. This is the disturbing origin that Disney could never show, the dark heart of Sleeping Beauty's real curse. So, when Walt Disney decided to adapt Sleeping Beauty he aimed for it to be his studio's ultimate visual masterpiece. What most people don't realize is that Disney's team spent years digging through old European manuscripts, studying the original fairy tales. Tucked away in those ancient texts were Bozzo's dark verses, along with later, softer versions by Charles Perrault and the Brothers Grimm. With each retelling, the story got a little lighter, a bit more romantic, and more kid-friendly. But the core of the curse always stayed the same. Before the sun sets on her 16th birthday, she shall prick her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and die. Disney famously softened that line, changing die to fall into a deep sleep. But animators who worked on the film later revealed in interviews that early script drafts contained a much darker vision. In those versions, Maleficent wasn't just a bitter, jealous fairy. She was the literal embodiment of death. In concept notes, she was even codenamed the Reaper Queen. Think about it, her terrifying green fire, her black horns, her power to transform into a monstrous dragon. These are all symbols pulled directly from ancient European myths about death gods. And that spindle, it wasn't just some random pointy object. In old folklore, spinning wheels symbolized the very thread of life. When Aurora pricked her finger, it wasn't just a curse taking effect. It was the moment her own fate was tragically cut short. Thanks so much for diving into this dark fairy tale with me. So, what's the real meaning behind Aurora's curse? Disney wants us to believe Maleficent cursed a baby just because she was snubbed from a party. But come on, does that really make sense? A being who commands storms and can turn into a dragon, getting upset over a party invitation. The truth is much, much deeper. Maleficent didn't curse Aurora out of petty anger. She cursed her to fulfill a cosmic destiny. Think about it. Aurora's name means the dawn. She represents light, new beginnings, and life itself. Maleficent, on the other hand, rules the night, the shadows, the darkness. In almost every ancient mythology, light and dark are two sides of the same coin. One cannot exist without the other. They need balance. So when Maleficent curses Aurora, she's not trying to destroy her. She's balancing the scales of the universe. In old folklore, pricking a finger on a spindle wasn't just a random evil act. It was a symbol of a blood pact with fate. The spinning wheel itself represented the endless cycle of life, death, and rebirth. When Aurora pricked her finger, she didn't just fall into a deep sleep. She crossed over into another realm, a place between dreams and death, a domain ruled by Maleficent herself. This is why Maleficent's curse is worded like a prophecy. The princess shall indeed grow in grace and beauty, but before the sun sets on her 16th birthday, she shall prick her finger and die. She isn't being cruel. She's stating a universal law. Aurora's curse wasn't an act of evil. It was destiny, disguised as a spell. Now, let's take this one step further. What if Maleficent isn't just some misunderstood fairy, as a live-action movie suggests? What if both the animated classic and the newer film are telling two sides of the same ancient truth? What if Maleficent isn't a fairy at all, but something far more powerful? What if she is the ancient goddess of fate? In Greek mythology, the three fates spun, measured, and cut the threads of every mortal life. Maleficent embodies all three roles. Her iconic horns mirror the crescent moon, a timeless symbol of cycles. Her raven, Diablo, acts as a messenger between the worlds of the living and the dead. And her green fire, that represents the eternal flame of transformation, the process of death turning into new life. And here's the biggest clue. Maleficent is one of the only Disney villains who does truly die. She transforms from her fairy-like form into a dragon, and from a dragon back into a spirit. That's not defeat, that's ascension. It's part of a cycle. When Prince Philip kisses Aurora, he doesn't just break the spell. He completes the ritual. He brings the light to the dark, uniting the two forces and awakening Aurora from a spiritual death into her new dawn. What Disney sold us as true love's kiss is actually a powerful, ancient symbol for rebirth. Aurora wasn't cursed, she was chosen. What do you think? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Get ready, because we're about to uncover some of the darkest secrets hidden inside one of the most iconic structures in history. Sleeping Beauty's castle. We all know the castle, the shimmering towers, that iconic pink glow, the dreamy clouds floating by. But what most people don't realize is that the castle itself is a monument to something truly haunting. Both the castle in the 1959 film and the one in Disneyland were directly inspired by Neuschwanstein Castle in Germany. On the surface, it's a fairy tale fortress, but the real story behind it is chilling. It was built in the late 1800s by King Ludwig II of Bavaria, a man obsessed with fantasy and isolation. He lived alone, spoke to himself, and was eventually declared insane by his own government. Just a few days later, he was found mysteriously drowned in a nearby lake. His death has never been solved. Now, get this. Walt Disney himself visited that very castle during a trip to Europe and became completely haunted by it. He told his animators that the castle in the film should look beautiful but unreachable. Those words are key. Unreachable implies something that looks perfect on the outside but hides a dark, untouchable truth within. That is Aurora's curse in visual form. Her castle isn't a home, it's a prison. The walls represent the illusion of safety, while the spires reach desperately upward, symbolizing her trapped soul, longing to escape its fate. Notice how the movie's color palette shifts from golden warmth to an eerie blue the moment the curse takes hold, turning her perfect world into a dreamlike nightmare. Early Disney concept art even included subtle skull patterns hidden in the castle's shadows, a deliberate hint from the artists that death was always lurking just beneath the beauty. So next time you see that castle light up the screen, you're not just seeing magic, you're seeing a monument to the price of destiny. But the castle is only half the story. The music itself tells the truth, and this part is going to blow your mind. Most people know the film's score is based on Tchaikovsky's 1890 ballet, but within that beautiful music hides something chilling. Tchaikovsky was deeply depressed when he wrote it, believing he was cursed by fate and would die young. When you listen closely to the melody that plays as Aurora pricks her finger, the rhythm subtly mimics a heartbeat slowing down, symbolizing her crossing from life into a death-like sleep. Music historians have even found that if you reverse that melody, the notes create a pattern almost identical to a funeral march. And here's the kicker. Disney reused those same haunting chord progressions in other tragedies, like Mufasa's death in The Lion King. That's not a coincidence. It's a legacy. a subconscious reminder that every fairy tale has its shadow. And remember the choir that hums when the fairies lay Aurora to rest. They're not just humming, they're singing in Latin, and the translation is incredible. Let the light sleep, so darkness may awaken. Disney literally encoded the struggle between light and dark, life and death, right into the soundtrack. So even as we watched the happy ending, our minds were hearing the echo of something much deeper, the sound of destiny being rewritten. What if I told you the happiest ending in Disney history was actually its most tragic? The story says Aurora fell into an enchanted sleep, waiting for true love's kiss. But what if she never woke up? Let's look at the evidence. When Prince Philip kisses Aurora, she awakens peacefully. There's no gasp for air, no confusion, no sign of someone returning from the brink. Her reaction isn't one of revival. It's the serene smile of someone who has completely crossed over. This is the foundation for one of the most haunting fan theories ever. Aurora didn't wake up in the real world. She woke up in the afterlife. Think about it. The kingdom celebrates under a sun that shines brighter than ever before. The colors become almost surreal, hypervivid. Everything is just a little too perfect. This awakening aligns eerily with the 5 stages of grief, culminating in acceptance. Aurora's entire life, from her sheltered childhood to her fated slumber, can be seen as a journey through these stages. The kiss wasn't a resurrection, it was a release. The prince wasn't bringing her back to life, he was guiding her spirit to the other side. That's why the curse is never truly explained as being broken, it's simply forgotten. No one questions what happened to the spinning wheel, or how the magical threat just vanished. It didn't. The curse fulfilled its purpose, ending with her life. The fairy tale ending we see isn't a return to the living world, it's peace in death. And that, my friends, is the hidden tragedy of Sleeping Beauty, a story that offers hope on the surface, but secretly whispers about mortality and fate. But hold on, because it gets even deeper. Disney never creates stories in a vacuum. Each film echoes another, and Sleeping Beauty is a critical node in this massive web. In Frozen Elsa's ice magic is visually identical to Maleficent's green fire. Both are swirling spirals of elemental power. You can even find subtle musical motifs from Sleeping Beauty S score woven into Frozen S soundtrack. Then, in Maleficent, Mistress of Evil the Dark Fae talk about a curse that binds generations. This isn't just a metaphor. It's the Sleeping Beauty curse itself, rippling through Disney's timeline. Now look at Tangled Rapunzel's kingdom, Corona, is confirmed to exist in the same world as Aurora's. The castle designs, the maps, and the central theme of sunlight all connect. And here's the chilling part. Mother Gothel ages instantly when she loses the magic flowers, like the same golden glow that surrounded Aurora's sleeping form. It's as if the sleeping curse didn't end, it just migrated, transforming into a new form. Each Disney princess seems to inherit a piece of this ancient spell, the eternal battle between light and dark, freedom and fate. Aurora's sleep was just the beginning. Her curse became Disney's secret blueprint. Thanks so much for watching. Before Disney ever touched a story of Sleeping Beauty, it had existed for centuries, and trust me, it was never meant for children. The earliest version is a dark, 14th century Italian tale called Sun, Moon, and Talia. In that story, the princess doesn't wake up from a kiss. No, a wandering king finds her, and while she's still asleep, she gives birth to twins. She only wakes up when one of the babies sucks a splinter of flax from her finger. Horrifying, right? But Disney didn't erase that darkness, they just hid it. Maleficent's curse represented fate and the loss of innocence forced upon young women. When Aurora pricks her finger, she isn't just cursed. She's marked by destiny. The entire kingdom sleeps with her, symbolizing how the world freezes when innocence is lost. The thorns around the castle even resemble living veins, protecting her. So while it seems like a story about a princess saved by love, it's really about a spirit enduring the darkness of time itself. Aurora wasn't just sleeping, she was waiting. Not for a prince, but for her own freedom. Alright, let's connect the dots. This is the final message Disney never told you about Sleeping Beauty. It's not a story about a curse being broken. It's about the power of light surviving through darkness. Every time Aurora closes her eyes, she enters the dream world, that place between life and death. Maleficent isn't her enemy. She's her shadow self, the part of her that carries pain, fear, and truth. When the prince defeats Maleficent, he's not just killing evil, he's integrating it. He's accepting the darkness that must exist for beauty to shine. That's what makes this story timeless. It's more than a fairy tale. It's a spiritual metaphor, a reminder that every curse has a meaning, every shadow has a light, and every ending is just a new kind of awakening. So the next time you watch that final dance, remember, Aurora isn't just dancing in a reborn kingdom. She's dancing in her eternal dream. The curse wasn't broken. It was finally understood. What if I told you the fairy tales we know and love have a hidden layer, a secret meaning we've all missed? Take Sleeping Beauty, for example. We all think the story is about a prince's kiss breaking a curse. But what if that's not the whole story? What if the real tale is far deeper, far more, enlightening? Maybe Sleeping Beauty never truly woke up. Maybe her deep sleep wasn't a punishment at all, but a necessary journey of passage into understanding herself and the world. And maybe, just maybe, Disney has been hiding this profound truth in plain sight all along. Perhaps the real magic isn't in a prince breaking a spell. Perhaps it's about embracing the shadows, the challenges, the darkness in our lives. Because that's what truly allows us to appreciate the light. It's in accepting the darkness that makes the light so brilliantly bright. What do you think? Let me know your theories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content that will make you question everything. Thanks for watching.